Hi guys, I'm starting a new cup today. I just kind of lightly painted the top and the bottom with a little bit of a blue. And I just went with a white tumbler because it was already mostly prepped. And we are going to wrap this with the Tiffany like oil slick look vinyl. Colorful Pearl vinyl from Tech Wrap. I'll spit it out. So, I'm going to cut a piece off at not quite 8 inches. I'm going to cut it to about 9 1/4, a little bit more. We're going to do a little bit extra to this once we get it to the turner. And this is going to be the one we use this decal on because I feel like this color is like perfect. And then we're going to put the little baby turtle on the bottom, and we're going to use a couple of turtles for a topper. So that's where we're headed with this one. But we're not just going to leave this like this on this one. If I could get the vinyl started to cut an anchor, that would be super. This one's going to be quite a process, and hopefully my vision will work out. I should have used the other kind of aqua colors spray paint I had more left of. I didn't have the vinyl near me when I picked the paint. So, it is what it is at this point. But I had more of a beach glass type color, which probably would have worked a little bit better, but it's alright. Ooh, that just peeled a whole bunch of that paint up off onto the backer. So we're going to get this over, we're going to get it on the turner, and we're going to do the next step. Okay, so I have about a 15 ml coat of epoxy on here. Recording issues, sorry. But all I did was smooth it out, even coat, and I'm going to move on to the next step. I reserved a little bit of my epoxy for this ocean white pigment. And I'm going to mix that together. And then set it to the side. I meant to grab a little stick. I didn't want to use the stir stick. This is way more than I'm going to need, I can tell you already. But it's okay. So what I'm going to do with this, because I don't want just this, is I have the Pinata Blue Violet, Pinata Teal, and Pinata Sapphire Blue alcohol inks. And I'm going to put a little bit of each of those on here. I don't want to overwhelm the cup, and I do want to leave kind of a little bit of the center open if I can. Just like literally 2 drops of each. To start. I can always add more. I can't take away. I'm just going to put a little bit of the white on its own and over the color. Alright, and I do have my heat gun ready to go. So I'm gonna high fan, medium heat. Okay, so I'm just going to reverse the direction of the spin and leave this alone until it dries. I do have a little fisheye that opened up there. I might tap with my finger quick, but other than that, we are going to leave it alone. I'm actually going to tilt my cup down a little bit because I do have it a little bit far this way. I can tell by the way it's pooling. Just dabbing some of the excess where it's running in a thick band. So I think I'm actually going to turn it so it's spinning towards me again. And now I'm just going to leave it alone, let it dry. And once it's dry, we will, not here because that's the back seam, but the turtle's going to go somewhere about right in here. And that's going to be it. So I will be back when this is dry. Okay, so I am going to work on this cup today. I haven't touched this cup in a little over 2 weeks. And I'm going to repeat myself in a couple of videos because I don't know what order things are getting finished and going up. But I was sick for a couple days. Then we left on vacation way back on July 4th. And that was like a 10-11 day vacation total. And then when we came back, we've had insane storms here in New York the last couple weeks. So I wasn't really comfortable working on anything, not knowing if we were going to lose power or anything. And it's just been a really stressful week. So now I'm like into this week and trying to get something done. So my apologies that I have not had a cup video up, but we are going to get our decals on this one. Then I'm going to work on the lid once I get the epoxy mixed. I did snap this lid in half, popping it off. Sometimes it is difficult to remove the lids, but let's go ahead and get the UV DTFs on here. I'm going to trim these down a little bit more. Only because the clear part of the top of the UV DTF is the super sticky part. Anywhere there's ink, just isn't as sticky when you go to remove the top piece. And I'd prefer not to have to worry about it damaging the cup itself in any way if I got a particularly sticky spot. So that is why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. And I don't know how, I mean, this should show pretty well on the bottom, so we're just gonna pick a spot and apply him. Or her. That snap is air trapped underneath because I'm going into the divot. I do want to make sure that I get all of that air out. Even if I have to poke a hole in the center somewhere, just to make sure there's not trapped air. So, oops, I missed his little star entirely. There we go. So I do think I'm gonna poke a hole or two. Alright, I don't feel any other air, so that should be good. And I am going to do the front because I can see just a little bit of the seam here for the larger turtle. Because there's no text or anything, it really doesn't matter exactly how this is placed. And I'm not going to add any text or anything to this one. peel from this direction on this one. Let's see, this is not sticky at all where the ink was printed. It's only sticky in the clear bits. There. Super, super cute. So looking at this, we're going to decide what we want to do on our top. I had thought about enhancing the top with like some bubbles or extra rhinestones or something, but I'm not entirely sure I want to do that. I think I just want to do a little bit of alcohol ink and like maybe 3 turtles, because I find the rule of 3 to be very eye-pleasing. Personal preference, do what you want. I really like this one. This one's got a little bit of the pinky purple and the blue. You know, I don't want any matte finish ones. So I think I'm going to go with this blue, because I'm going to do a little bit of purple and a little bit of blue ink, I believe. So, I'm not sure. I don't think I want to do any extra. I think that's going to be plenty. I just don't want to get in too crazy. So I popped the lid thingy out, and these are just chunks of silicone straw, like the end protector from a fat silicone straw. So I like to put these in the mouth hole, just in case my epoxy runs where I don't want it to. I do try to prevent it from running that direction. So you'll see me propping it up with something. In this case, I'm just going to use a stack of popsicle sticks. Doesn't have to be thick, just enough to lean the cup back. And I'm going to grab just one of these. So we're going to go back over to the turner. We're going to coat the tumbler. Then we're going to come back and assemble the lid. Okay, so we're just going to get a thin coat of epoxy on here. And this will probably be final coat for this one, just because that is pretty thick already. And the UV DTF doesn't need to be sealed at all to begin with, and it definitely doesn't need to be sealed heavily. And we're going to go back over to the lid. Okay, so I'm just going to throw on a pair of vinyl gloves quick. So I have 3 colors of alcohol ink pulled. I think what I'm going to do is pour a little clear on either side first. And I may need to ditch a popsicle stick if it looks like I'm going to overflow the back edge. And into that, I'm going to put a drop of purple on one side. I'm going to leave these open in case I need them. And a drop of the blue on the other side. And then the rest I'm going to mix some Laguna in. And we're going to pour that into the center section. I do need a popsicle stick to scrape. And this is starting to thicken up already because this was CC DIY Turbo, so I need to get a move on here. Oh, it's hardening up really quick. So I'm just gonna kind of swirl it around a little bit. Wow. I did not expect the ink to just harden up right on top. Okay. I wanted it semi-transparent so that the turtles will show. Glove powder. And my little turtles are just going to sit in the top. Pink one or purple one on one side, blue one on the other, and then the multicolored one is going to kind of go right there. So I think I'm going to call that it for the topper. And like I said, I don't want it to get overly complicated. I just wanted pretty simple and cute. So those are my little miniature turtles that I got from TikTok shop. I will link them down below as well. They had ducks and maybe frogs. And I don't remember what else. So I'm going to let this dry. We'll come back in. We'll pull the plug out of it. The cup will be ready by then. And we'll see how it looks together. Okay, so I think everything is dry. So let's have a look. The cup looks fabulous. Look how beautiful this is. And let's see our lid. Pop these out. Oops. See, that's why I put them in, because it did roll a little bit towards there. This is all sealed enough. Even the way the color went on is fine. I did forget to tape the back here, but that's alright. It only dripped a tiny bit, so that'll be fine. That's my fault, totally. But are my little turtles just adorable? So, that is going to be it for this one. See, without the pink on the back. Really pretty alcohol ink swirl over that colorful pearl Tiffany vinyl. And my little tiny turtles as a topper. Super, super cute. And that is it for this one. I will see you next time.